All right. So Dak Prescott got to go through a second MRI. Now, it's much to do about making sure that everything is healing properly. And a lot of times we would look into this situation and say, an MRI. No. They just want to make sure that everything is okay. And Dak Prescott lamented himself. He's on a pitch count. The main objective or the goal will be ready for September the 9th. Be ready for that particular day. Now, being on the same page and these sorts of things, that's something that we probably don't have the liberty to see. Now, not this preseason game that's coming up, but the next preseason game, maybe, just maybe, you will probably see Dak Prescott for a series. You will probably see Dak Prescott for one little series there, and then it will be time for the game. The game. One coach is taking it a different approach. The LA Rams coach, Sean McVay, he don't let none of his starting quarterbacks play at all for the preseason. He did it last season, and I'm quite sure that they made it to the playoff. Now, different caliber of quarterbacks, of course, and different coaching philosophies, but you guys get the point. Now, this team in the past was a team that's built for the run. The team was utilizing Ezekiel Elliott to create the run, and I would tell you guys that this team is still equipped to run. The offensive line might need a little adjustment here and there, but I believe week one, if you can run against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I believe is the number 1 or number 5 defense against the run, then that's a plus. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't start off that way, Cowboy Nation. So there's a lot of chinks in some armor. However, you want Dak Prescott to be out there for week one. You don't want to rush him, and you want to make sure that the MRI is showing a positive report. Now, I would believe that there will be a positive report because he's throwing the ball less stress and less pain. So I believe that in a pinch, he'll be out there. Now, we do know that game days is a whole lot different from practice, and practice is a whole lot different from game days. Now, when you think about this, hear me out. If this was a regular week and Dak Prescott had that injury the first time around, they might have shot him up with all types of pain killers and all of those things. Just keep that in the back of your mind, because that could be the situation and scenario if needed be, right, Cowboy Nation? So we look at all of those things, especially when we're talking about the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys team. We do. We look at everything. Now, we have two other guys that we will be looking for some point of this season. And I believe one of the guys will be ready week one as well, and his name is Amari Cooper. Yeah, Amari Cooper running routes, planting his foot, getting upfield, looking pretty crisp on certain situations, and that's at 50 to 60%. He's not running it at 100%. And sometimes as a wide receiver, you just want to make sure that you get the cadence right. You want to make sure that, hey, when you climb to 5 yards and the quarterback needs for you to shift that way, are you on that same page in that fashion? So it looks like Amari Cooper himself will be ready too. Now, I did a video similar to this earlier when I was talking about the Amari Cooper time frame, when he'll be ready, how long will it take, and these sorts. And I was able to see him do a lot of drills out there in Oxnard that was testing that ankle. And I want a lot of people to understand this. This is not an injury. This is just a recovery. He had an off-season surgery. So all of those things, Cowboy Nation, you got to put into your mind. I do know that he get the label of, hey, he's injury prone and these sorts of things, because this is what the Cowboys do as far as the media department. And even when you go to the Cowboys website and you go back to talk about Dak Prescott, they are still talking about shoulder instead of latissimus. Neither here nor there. My thing is, Cowboy Nation, back to nothing to throw at the Cowboys website, but the media in general, Cowboy Nation, in general. The Amari Cooper is your number one wide receiver. At the end of the day, he is your number one. He will demand the number one cornerback, defensive back, to be on his side. Now, the thing is, with what we are seeing and identifying with CeeDee Lamb out there is amazing. Flat out amazing. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. But he will have to earn that respect on the field when it comes Sunday for that number one cornerback to say, you know what, I'm going to go shift over there to CeeDee Lamb's side. Because think about this, Cowboy Nation. There's not a lot of NFL tape of CeeDee Lamb on his release points off of his routes, especially as it relates to what he's doing out there. We're talking about practice. What he's doing out there in practice. But there's tape on Amari Cooper. And DBs, one thing I do know for sure, that they want to know your release point. They want to get a vibe, a feel. They want to know and understand these are your tendencies. So that number one DB, he's looking at Amari Cooper. I can get him, or at least try. And that respect of what Lamb would bring to the table after he earned it for probably week 1, week 2, when that attention start to look his way, he'll get there. He'll get there. And it just be a horrible situation for those number 2 DBs / corners. It will be a horrible situation, because as soon as you figure out, okay, this is what he liked to do, this is what I'm going to try to take away, this is what he's horrible against, you got Gallup. You got either a Blake Jarwin or a Dalton Schultz. That is what makes this so complicated. And they just not going to keep an Amari Cooper on the outside. They motion him inside. Newsflash. Now you can do the same with CeeDee Lamb. That is the craziest part of it all, Cowboy Nation. And I'm not trying to just speak glowingly of this team and try to pump this thing up. I don't want this to sound like Law Nation is just cheerleading for the wide receivers. But these are the facts. And I'm not even talking about Ezekiel Elliott nor Tony Pollard. See how these weapons go? So I believe week 1, if they need to run the rock, yeah, let them run it. And if they say, okay, we're going to load up the box, that's cool. That's cool. Suicide squad on the outside for your DBs. Because now it's one-on-one. And your one safety on top of the roof, he better make a wise decision which side he going to roll on. Is he going to roll coverage to Amari's side? Or is he going to roll coverage to Gallup and Lamb's side? Those are his decisions of what he have to make. Just like that. Now, the other guy that's recovering, fighting to get back out there on the field, Cowboy Nation, Malik. When I was watching his drills, he got the heart and the determination to be out there on the field. He do. And they want to slow this thing out. Don't want to rush perfection, basically. I'm predicting like week 3, week 4, maybe week 4, week 5, down the latter part of the season on the front end. But if you have to put bubble wrap on this guy and say, okay, we'll wait till after the bye week to bring him out, that's cool with me. Because by that time, Malik will be just right. And DeMonte KZ will got his feet wet into this situation. And everybody else will be flying up to the ball. Defense will be humming. And as soon as you get those nicks in there, Malik Hooker come out fully ready. Cowboy Nation, that's just how this thing rocks from here, Cowboy Nation. So just to rehash of all what I just mentioned, Dak Prescott is getting the MRI just to make sure he measured twice and cut once, making sure that everything is okay. My thing is with Amari Cooper, he will be ready as well week 1. He will be ready. He will be ready, baby. And don't fret, Cowboy Nation, of the numbering of who's number 1 wide receiver, who's not. Because at the end of the day, the opposition will be looking at it like, man, good grief. Can we just do some cover 2, cover 3? Shoot, against these DBs, can we just do some quarters around this thing? and on top of that, Malik Hooker, don't rush it. Can't rush perfection anyhow. Slowly get him into the system. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Subscribe for more Cowboys content as well. My name is Law Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Hope you guys got your coffee. I got mine. Let's go.